thought it was Ken's for a minute. But then, no, that's what I thought.
Community care for their planet. So thank you guys.
Okay, on the consent calendar, CC 10.
We do have a second presentation.
Oh. I never did pay attention very well.
No, you're good. Mayor and Council, I'd like to invite Dr. Deloshup of the Social Equity Commission and principal of one of our local charter schools and the residents this year who will be planning Juneteenth celebration. So come on up and share the good works. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Claude. Mayor Paris and members of the Lancaster City Council. As a commissioner of the Social Equity Commission for more than 2 years now, I thank you for allowing me to serve our community. I am indeed a proponent of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I am the proud histories of our residents. That said, I present you Ms. Renisha Bowling, Fawn White, and Mr. Ronald Chatters, all residents of the Antelope Valley, and our partners in our Juneteenth partnership and planning committees who have worked hard for our Lancaster Juneteenth celebration. Thank you.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings with a harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let us march on till victory is won. Sing a song full of the dark past that has taught us. Oh, sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory. Let us march on till victory is won.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fawn White, and yes, lift every voice. Such powerful meanings behind lift every voice. But first, let me woo-saw. You know, when you work from home, you do more work than in the office. Let me just say that, okay? So let me just regroup and get this started. On behalf of the residents, businesses, and organizations that have been meeting for months now to plan the second annual Lancaster Juneteenth celebration, we would like to thank you, Mayor Paris, the Lancaster City Council, the city manager, and all the staff supporting our efforts to lift our voice in celebrating Juneteenth. When we applied last year to have a Juneteenth event at Lancaster City Park, we hoped for an event that allowed us to gather in the spirit of community, in the spirit of celebrating Black people's strength in overcoming extreme adversity, and in celebrating the freedom that our ancestors paid for their blood, sweat, lives, and tears. I'm proud and grateful that our 2 years now, with the city's support, we are working toward establishing the celebration of Juneteenth as a tradition here in Lancaster, the great city of Lancaster. The city has provided us a space to honor Black history as being one of American history. You have each have an invitation before you, and on behalf of the Lancaster Juneteenth Community Partnership, I invite you to attend our second annual Lancaster Juneteenth celebration, the community's family reunion on Sunday, June 18th, 2023 in Lancaster City Park from 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. After being freed, reunions became a way for formerly enslaved people to reconnect with family members that they had been separated from. Today, reunions continue to be a part of a way for the community to unite, fellowship with family, friends, and community members, and a way to celebrate their heritage. So please break out your matching family t-shirts, grab your blankets, lawn chairs, and an appetite. And allow us to celebrate, come together in the spirit of family, community, and most importantly, freedom. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was not planning to speak, but I am stepping in.
But you couldn't resist.
I could not, but I am definitely not in the script. But that being said, I truly want to thank all of you for vesting me with the opportunity to work with the community. These are just a few of the people from the community that are helping plan the Juneteenth celebration. But just to give you an idea of some of the things that are going to occur on that particular Sunday, we're going to kick off the day with an early morning worship service. When you think about the experience of Black people in the United States, it's our faith that has gotten us to where we are. And so it's important that we start the day off celebrating in honoring the faith that has allowed us to be strong. And so we thank Bishop, Councilman Doris, for bringing his church to the park on Sunday and leading us in a worship service. We're gonna have a second year of having a free a pop-up skating rink for children and families in the community, so they can come skate for free. The skating rental is provided to them complimentary. We're gonna have over 100 food and merchandise vendors. We pretty much have doubled our numbers from last year. One thing that I am truly excited about this year, we have something called an empowerment zone. So we find it important that when people come to celebrate freedom, that they leave away with some skills and resources to either make themselves better or make the people around them better. So we have a few nonprofits coming up from Los Angeles, A New Way of Life. They will be hosting workshops on expungement, so clearing your records so you can get a job or get housing or whatever the case may be. We have another lawyer who will be providing a workshop on family reunification, so people within our community that are having issues with being in their children's lives. So that particular person will be giving them the skills or the resources to tap into to help them be better fathers, be better mothers, be better grandparents. We also will have someone doing a workshop on the home loan process. Arguably, economic freedom is important for everyone, regardless of your race. And then with that being said, I am also happy to announce that one of our guest speakers is one of the first people in the United States, Black people, to receive his realtor designation. And so his name is Mr. Ben Clayton. He is the CEO and founder of Legacy Home Loans. And so he will also be gracing us with his presence. And then last but not least, we've added a health and wellness zone. And so this particular zone, funded through a grant from the Department of Public Health, I believe, with one of our other partners, will provide people opportunities to get free massages, do yoga, Reiki healing, and then I believe at least 200 people will be provided with free vegetarian food on that day from one of our food vendors that will be at the park. So if you do not have anything to do on Father's Day, which is June 18th, we encourage all of you to join us. And again, we thank the mayor, the city manager, and the staff that have been supporting our efforts to establish Juneteenth as a Lancaster tradition.
This is on Father's Day?
It is on Father's Day. So we understand you might not be able to come the entire time, but you can at least grace us with your presence for 20 or 30 minutes, and we would greatly appreciate that. It is a family-friendly event, so bring your family. There are family games, family tournaments, whether it's sack racing, three-legged racing, bingo, trivia. So if you think of anything that you could imagine at a family reunion on a TV show, our goal is to simulate that here within the city of Lancaster, to provide everyone an opportunity, regardless of their race, their age, or whatever the case may be, to come out and just simply celebrate the fact that there are many people that paid the price for us to be free.
Thank you. Are we using all the resources to publicize it?
Yes, we're in partnership with the committee and the group who's organizing it, but we're also funding it, but also communicating it to the public through our channels and deeply engaged with their success.
Okay.
But thank you.
Father's Day?
Yes, we have a car
couldn't have
show
done
and
it
bike
the day
show for the
before.
fathers, the men that want to come look at some classic beauties. So that's something for you to do.
I'm just
on-
wondering how it's going to deal with the attendance, you know?
Last year, we didn't, if anyone wants to chime in.
I was there last year, and I was blown away. It was phenomenal. It wasn't
It was
Father's Day? It was?
yeah. It just
So
so
I came
happens that
after
it will
church.
most likely
Yeah.
always occur on Father's Day Sunday.
Rex, I came after church, and it it had to be 1,000 people out there. It was unbelievable. Yes, and I was just blown away. Really, I was amazed, and I wish we had some more pictures. I don't know if the other pictures that you had ever got out, but it was it was a very large
You could
event.
have church there.
That's what we're planning on doing. Or I'm shutting my whole church
He's
down
not
to be out
planning
there.
on doing, he will be doing it.
Yeah, it's something I've
gentlemen.
never done in 21 years of pastoring, but they talked me into it. And my church is excited to be there.
Okay, good.
And gentlemen, it beats another pair of socks or a gray handkerchief. So, or bring your gray handkerchief and your socks to Juneteenth.
I thought you were going to say dominoes and horseshoes, but
But no, we truly appreciate everything that the city is doing for the community, and everything that you guys plan to do moving forward. So thank you. And hopefully we'll see you.
You will. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the
Mayor's-
consent calendar now.
Mayor Paris. Hi.
Sean.
So today I'm here representing the Office of Senator Wilk, who is also an organization that is involved.
Lift the mic up, I can't hear you.
Here I'm representing the Office of Senator Scott Wilk, who is also one of the organizations involved in planning this year's Juneteenth event. This is pretty much the sign where it starts getting hotter and we start celebrating freedom. So when it comes to Senator Wilk, he knows that this is one of the first, maybe the second times that the entire state or the entire country, or more specifically the entire 21st Senate District, is celebrating Juneteenth as a community. And then we also wanted to highlight the fact that not only Juneteenth, but 4th of July, Memorial Day, we celebrate freedom in this country differently. And Senator Wilkes embraces and commends this partnership for coming together and creating an event that we think is going to be awesome. I've been representing him going to these meetings, and I can't wait. I'm going to bring my son. I do remember it being on Father's Day last year. It was fun. So again, the Office of Senator Wilk is honored to be on the Juneteenth Planning Committee, and we thank the City of Lancaster for facilitating this community effort. Our office will provide activities and constituent services at this event, and I will be representing the senator at the event as well. We look forward to celebrating freedom continuously throughout the year with the City of Lancaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Okay, now, moving on to the consent calendar, right? Am I good? Yes. Good.
CC7.
We got to take CC7 off and is CC10 off?
No, it's just, I wanted to note that there's an addendum for CC10. You guys received a copy of that addendum. It is a copy of the agreement, and there's also a copy on the back table for public viewing.
Oh, that's right, you guys were negotiating it up to the wire, weren't you?
Literally, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, is there a motion?
Gerald has to step out.
No, let's do the consent calendar and then kick them out.
Okay.
Just, we're taking item 7 off the consent calendar.
I'll move the consent calendar that we approve it, pulling CC7.
I'll second that motion.
Let's vote. It's unanimous.
Motion to approve CC7.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Let's vote. It's unanimous with Councilman Doris recused himself. You can come back there. New business item 1. Any speaker cards? No. Let's waive the report. Oh, I know you wanted to do it. Did you? Okay. No, go ahead and do it, seriously.
It'll be less than 5 minutes.
Is that really how you want to open?
Mayor and council, good evening. In addition to presenting on the neighborhood improvement project, I wanted to share that we are also celebrating National Public Works Week. National Public Works Week is meant to recognize the importance of our public infrastructure and those people that provide these vital services every day. Now back to our item. The city of Lancaster has nearly 1,500 lane miles of roads. In 2015, to increase the number of roads improved and more efficiently use our limited roadway funds, the city shifted from a worst first strategy to focusing on preventative maintenance and rehabilitation. In 2019, the city took it a step further. We concentrated our efforts where we would really feel a difference, and council secured a road bond. With approval of the road bond, we chose to focus on roadways within the city's core, where some of our oldest pavement lives. The roadways are used the most, and where we could group like work for better pricing, rather than chasing our tails with work spread out all over the city's 90 square miles. With the road bond, our new goal was to improve 266 lane miles within the city core by the end of 2022. 2022 is over, so how did we do? Well, we programmed the first batch of our road bond projects into the CIP in November 2019. By March 2020, the pandemic was upon us. The city went to hybrid work from home, access to resources was limited, and efficiencies were lost. By spring of 2021, the nation's supply chain was broken and material delays were unprecedented. Then, at the beginning of 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, and the price of oil skyrocketed. This drastically impacted our budgets. Now, you might think I'm making excuses, but I'm not. I'm actually setting the scene so that we can all truly appreciate just what we were able to accomplish. Because despite all of these challenges, we were able to treat 237 of the 266 lane miles that was our goal when the road bond was approved. Not only did we deliver, we learned to work smarter. We improved efficiency by implementing a decision tree process for treatment selection, and we developed an assembly line template for the production of bid documents. To further streamline, curb, gutter, ramp, and sidewalk concrete repairs were bundled ahead of the pavement work. This gave us better pricing and accelerated delivery. By improving operations, we were able to dramatically increase our rate of treatment from an average of 31 lane miles per year over the last 10 years to about 80 lane miles per year in the last 3 years. In looking at our pavement condition index, we can see that not only did we halt the decline of our average pavement condition with the road bond funds, we have been able to raise it back up to where we were over 7 years ago. To continue the good we have done and complete the list of priority projects identified when the road bond was programmed, we recommend award of construction of PWCP 23-014 to improve the neighborhood located between Lancaster Boulevard and Avenue J and between 10th Street West and Sierra Highway, with the installation of speed cushions at 6 locations. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. So how are we on getting the plastic with the roads?
We're actually in the process of doing some research to find out where it has been used, how much it cost, what the supply is right now. Caltrans has done one test location that didn't go so great, and so we're getting in contact with them to find out what it is that went wrong and what they're doing to change it, to see if we can do a test project here as well.
That is quick. I just sent it the other day. That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve NB1.
Second that? Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. Want to take a break?
No, I'm good. We're done.
Oh, we're done? Any council reports?
I wanted to, myself, along with Melissa and Mr. Niebla, we meet once a month to discuss what the city's been doing with homeless situation. And it's actually a lot, but we do have some issues. One of the things that I am grateful for is that the city has been, even though we don't, and our vice mayor will appreciate this, we don't get our fair share of the Measure H money. It's over, so far in LA County, we've gotten over $44 million, but Lancaster's only gotten $3.5 million. Again, it's us not getting our fair share. And while $3 million may seem like a lot, it's not a lot in the scheme of things when it's over $355 million that has been paid out. So it's another fight that we always have that seems like just to get our fair share. But even with those limited funds, the city of Lancaster has, and I want to read this so I make sure that, as I said, give all the accolades. March 17, all the way up through now, we have had programs, and the programs that we are highlighting right now is Family as One, Moment in Time, and Lancaster Connect. And these are the programs that connect with the most vulnerable people, and they're helping. We have a multifaceted approach. We're trying to make sure that the agencies use compassion as well as enforcement. And that's the delicate balance that we have because of the new laws. We have to be careful not to look like we're criminalizing homelessness, but at the same time protect our homeowners and our business owners. So with that, I want to highlight some of the providers that we have joined up with is, of course, AVPH, Project Joy, LASA, the people concerned. One of the things that we are excited about is the Hope of the Valley Intern Family Housing Project, which will, or is in the process now, converting the Sand and Tropic Motels on Sierra Highway into single campus family homes. Is underway, and hopefully by the end of July, am I correct, Trelise? They should be open. So that's great news.
How many units?
38 units. And each family will receive 3 meals a day, hygiene, supplies. It's just a whole collaborative, child care, job placement, mental health. So it's a whole wraparound services. So we're really excited to have Hope of the Valley because it seems like they're really trying to do what we wanted, not just provide shelters, but have wraparound services. And again, the staff, your staff, the staff that we've been blessed with, they've really been working around the clock. And I know a lot of people out there seem like things are not moving, but we got to understand homelessness did not happen overnight. So we're not going to fix it overnight. But we are working diligently to fix it, especially with the way that we're, again, Mr. Marvin, Chris, being limited with our funds and resources. But somehow we know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. So I want to give our staff a great big applause. And with your leadership, Mayor, we are really trying to move forward to nip this homelessness in the bud. I saw the mayor of Los Angeles talking about how, and she scares me, she's talking about how they got to get rid of their homeless by the time the Olympics come. And every time I hear that, I hear code words, send them to the Antelope Valley. I just hate that I feel that way. And I don't want to assume that, but that's what it just seems like, that they're looking for dumping zones instead of working with us to really help come with a comprehensive solution to this. So I want to salute the staff, and every month we meet to just see how things are going.
Of course, that's what they're going to do.
Well, we're going to stop them.
You know, I'm curious. I was thinking about, the homeless out in Avenue G. Remember that thing Vice did? Why don't we put water out there?
It's outside the city limits. We can definitely put water out there.
Oh, is it?
We can do that. I think they've looked and kind of been a county issue trying to address that part of the community. We've got challenges ourselves internal. But yeah, we can definitely do that if that's a request.
Or maybe we should find the best place to provide that.
Yeah.
And, you know, okay.
It's going to be an issue, Rex, with water. One of the things that I've just turned my eye to, because it just happened, in our building where our church is located, they have a nozzle for water, and they constantly are filling up their water bottles. And so I've talked to the neighbors to just let them look. If they're turning it on and turning it off, we'll cover the charge. It is what it is. We don't want anybody dying of thirst, but that's going to be the issue now. They're going to, and I don't want them coming into the neighborhoods, you know, walking up on people's grasses and things. So it may be something we do need to deal with, because if the wetness is any indication, the heat is going to be phenomenal this year. So.
Put somebody on that, would you? Good. Thank you. Anybody else? I have something. Ooh. So we had our guests from Japan. We showed them the city. It was a pretty good event. Staff did a great job. And following the event, we get notified the foreign minister from Japan is coming to Lancaster. That can only bode well for our economy. Thought I'd pass that on. Thank you. City clerk. Oh, city manager. You have any announcements?
Yes, last week we reported on, or not last week, a while back, we reported on the largest graffiti offender getting arrested. Good news that person has actually been convicted now, which we never hear of good news about convictions. We always hear about people getting let off, but he was convicted for 2 years in prison. It's our largest graffiti offender and ordered to pay $40,000 in restitution. So salute to our team, salute to Graffiti Tracker and doing that kind of work in the Sheriff's Department. It's definitely had an impact out there. In addition, the Neighborhood Watch program is going to get kicked off next month. We have 5 active groups currently and 20 more interested in public safety, and we'll be creating 2 Neighborhood Watch programs next month, and I think Ken's going to be leading the effort on that for the council and participating in those. And as you know, Narcan was now a available free to anybody without prescription. And we issued 11 doses of those in May 4th at the farmer's market. So we have an active program getting that out to handle the fentanyl issues as Dr. Stark has presented in the past. So those are good news from public safety. Parks Department starting cool summer nights. We'll kick off Wednesday, June 21st at Jane Reynolds Park. And it'll take place every Wednesday starting June 21st through July 26th. And visit the city's website for more information. It's going to be great. And MOA is back open after the renovations, so they have a brand new certified air conditioning system that allows them to hold and keep art of any quality. So we're looking for that for not only from an accreditation perspective, but also maintaining that asset that we have there. So that has been fully upgraded and they're back open and operating. LPAC has a full season through June. Go participate. And good news, Tractor Supply. I know, Rex, you're very into tractors, and so Tractor Supply is open. So as you want to go over there and look at your new parts for your tractor, it'll be open. And the ground has broken at Avenue K and 40th. Thank you. That's all I had to report.
I thought I drove that tractor pretty well for never having been in one before. And I sure had a good time. City clerk.
This is the time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards may be found on the back table of the council chambers. If you have completed a speaker card, please ensure that you have placed it in the basket so that you may be recognized. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please keep in mind, state law prohibits council from acting on items not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
David Paul, you are our only speaker. Maybe I should stir the pot more and get people.
Maybe I can help you. Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, good evening. I wanted to come up and thank you for the Juneteenth participation this city is putting forward. It is so helpful when there is so far to go. I've been at a lot of events lately, and I don't think I was prepared for the amount of animus that lives in people that have grievance issues. And now, you've probably seen my lapel, my Vietnam era pin lapel. The Vietnam era was 20 years, and 55,000 Americans died in that conflict. The Civil War, 4 years, 125,000 Union soldiers died. Twice that many died of exposure and disease, and 150,000 more were so badly wounded that they were simply a burden when they came back. And you might not know it, but I participated in the Juneteenth planning last year and this year up until this moment, still trying to have people understand that part of that whole celebration when the Union Army marched into Galveston was to let people know that the Emancipation Proclamation had freed slaves. So there's a lot to the history that's wound, and there's good and bad in all of that, but a clear understanding of the sacrifices to bring about that emancipation is an important thing to me to recognize in the whole story. Why Lincoln didn't put flowerful words in the Emancipation Proclamation is because that just raises everyone else's suspicions about what's going on. And all of that was done in the interest of national security. That's why Abraham Lincoln was able to do that. So it's a team effort. It's a constant, ongoing effort. But I just want to be that one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. I want us to worship how we see fit and hold the American ideal as the ultimate participation. So if we can't all just be Americans and in this together for this next phase, we're in trouble. So we have a lot of work to do, and I want you to know that more people are involved than it may appear. So please, come on out for Juneteenth. I'll be there all day in the CSA tent. And thank you.
Thank you. Anybody got anything? That's it? That's it. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 13th. Oh, before I do that, did you guys know that Marvin has been on the council how many years?
13, almost 14.
Almost 14 years, and he's never missed a meeting, ever. That came to my attention as I was looking at my own dismal attendance record. Thank you, Marvin. I've been involved in this city now for 35 years. I've never seen anybody work as hard for this city as you do. You know, it's not just the city council meetings he hasn't missed. He hasn't missed an AVTA meeting. He hasn't missed an air quality management district meeting. He hasn't missed a sanitation meeting. I don't know anybody that works as hard as you, and I want you to know. I want you to know that I appreciate it, and the city needs you. Thank you. Carol, my day is done. Oh, I got to finish. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 13th, 2023 at 5 p.m. The meeting is adjourned. Carol, my day is done, and I'm coming home eventually.